Hey, what's up guys, Mashine here, come back with a brand new video for you guys. Today we're going to be talking about the massive profit that has really come into CSGO, what you should plan on doing, and if it's really a good time to be buying some more, selling off, what really I'm going to be doing, and what I suggest you do as well. Before we hop on into this one though, let's hear a quick word from our sponsor.
Hi you, yes you. Would you like to get $5 for free for your first trade? Just use skinsmonkey.com and get your extra skins. See description below to enjoy the special promotion and receive 5% cashback for trading your CSGO skins.
Now, if you checked out the Steam market in pretty much the past couple days, you're going to start to see a massive amount of profit coming to a massive amount of items. This is not something we usually see. Usually when the hype comes, it's a pretty decent amount of items, but honestly, I feel like this has pretty much hit everywhere at this point, which is quite surprising. I mean, we got a lot of range of cases. We're starting to see a lot of active duty cases go up in price, which is not really a good sign that you should invest into them. Active duty cases, unless you're investing for the one that's going to be moved into the rare pool, it's probably not smart to do so. We've seen with the past two examples, Danger Zone and Prisma, both of the times you had a chance to buy in for the price point that they were listed at currently on the Steam market. We saw the price go way up, and then it comes back down to that normal level. Other than the clutch case, I can reasonably see every other case is going to do that. The clutch case is a little bit different because we got so many people invested into it for so very long. I don't think that the price point is going to come down to maybe that 25-cent or 30-cent price point that it's at right now. It might sit a little bit higher. Now, generally speaking, right now is probably not going to be the best time to buy in. We're starting to get to the point where I recommend either holding or selling. Personally, for me, I think I'm going to be holding about 99% of my items. I got one item I'm probably going to look to sell, but I'll let you guys know on that one. Other than that, I really don't think there's much to invest in at this point. I mean, we look at cases like the Gamma 2 case that has pretty much doubled in price in the past month, which is quite crazy considering such an old case like this. A lot of that is what we're starting to see. We've got the Spectrum 2 case, another one that I'm hugely invested into. I believe I got around 1,200 Spectrum 2 cases. I'm planning to hold on to these. I think a 60-cent price point, what we're seeing right now, is very nice. However, I think there's a lot of potential on the horizon, which I recommend you guys do as well. However, always make your own decisions. Don't just listen to me. Now, the main decision comes whether you're going to sell or hold, and that's a very hard decision. If you got something like an active duty case, I probably suggest you would sell it. However, if we're talking about the clutch case, it's a little bit different. We're talking overall, it's a little bit different. It's very hard to own in on every single item without looking at it specifically. So something like the Operation Riptide case, right now it's up significantly from where it was just around a month ago. It's almost doubled in price once again. However, when we're talking about the Operation Riptide case, even though I've got around 250 of them, which is a decent amount, I would say, I'd say this price point at $1.15 is not really suitable for me. I'm not going to be buying more. I'm not going to be selling them. I do think that the price point is probably going to go down. However, I'm not willing to risk it. With the price point of $1.15, I really don't know how much margin I'd be able to squeeze out of it, and therefore at this point I'm just avoiding it. It's not going to be in your best interest most of the time to try and sell out at this price point and invest in when we're talking about these specific months we're in. We're in April right now. We've seen a peak of CSGO items the past couple of years in between May through July. So it's really close on those time periods. We've got that major coming up, so this would be a great time to sell if you're looking to invest into the next major. I think I've mentioned that a couple times here, and I think it's something you should really consider. I'm selling off a couple of my Stockholm investments, mostly looking at the packages, just because it seems like all of these packages are going to return. Therefore, the price point is probably not going to be significantly higher than that $3. Something like Overpass, which was kind of the most susceptible to getting removed, I would say, in my opinion, or getting a new package, which would make the old one increase in value significantly, we really are starting to see that it could potentially slow down in its growth. It's one of the most expensive Stockholm packages at this point. However, it's definitely got that potential to slow down and possibly even go down in price a little bit. One big case I want to go back to and mention again is the Spectrum 2 case. Now, the Spectrum 2 case is quite an odd one. It decreased in price pretty decent amount because of the Operation Riptide and the brand new butterflies that came with it. Spectrum 2 case is very popular for its butterfly ruby, butterfly sapphire. Both of those are very expensive and very desirable. When the Operation Riptide case came out, it came out with the butterfly emerald, which people thought might impact the prices of the sapphire and the ruby. However, this case decrease was not something that we really should be expecting. It's not something that really impacted this case long term, and it's something we're starting to see now. We saw a lot of period where the price was significantly unmoved. I mean, it's crazy how stable this case stayed. I mean, you can look at the month graph here. Around the 30th, we start to see that real big movement, but from the 6th to the 30th, the price point increased maybe 1 cent, which is quite insignificant. I mean, that's honestly just normal variation in the price point there. Now let's talk about what is the potential best thing to buy. Now, I don't think these prices are going to stay, and I think it would be very foolish to think these prices are going to stay. These prices are probably going to go up slightly more and then start on their decrease as we get closer to that major and people start to sell off their investments in these areas so people can buy more investments in those areas. That's something that people really have to be thinking about. Do you really think the Chroma 3 case is going to be sitting at 60 cents when it comes time for the major, when it was just sitting at 27 cents a month ago? That's going to be a lot of profit that people are looking to cash out and invest into the next major. That's going to be significantly overlooked when we're looking at investing in the next major. The next major might be heavily overinvested into just because the massive amounts of profits people are going to be able to cash out in these areas. You used to be able to have one Stockholm capsule or major capsule on discount with a Chroma case because they were both around that 25-cent price point. Now you're able to get almost 2.5 capsules for that same one Chroma 3 case. I think that's something that people are going to significantly overlook, and it's something you should definitely be aware of when you're looking to invest into the next major. When we're looking on that topic of things to buy, though, I think there's a couple things that really come to mind for me. One, I still like the Prisma case at that 10-cent price point it's currently sitting at. I think it's definitely got a lot of room to grow compared to a lot of other cases. Once again, be careful because this does have the potential to stagnate out at that 10-cent price point. A lot of cases are starting to stagnate out when they're struggling to get up in that next price point level. Other cases include like the Hydra case, one that has really decreased in quantity lately and the price really hasn't increased that much. Personally, and if you've watched my videos for a bit, you know this, I'm still very good at the Shattered Web case price point. $1.30 is about the same price point as the Riptide case, honestly, at this point, if we want to get a little general. And I think the Shattered Web case has definitely got a lot more potential than the Operation Riptide case. However, it's just because that Dreams and Nightmares price point is so high that we're starting to see that Riptide case start to creep up a little bit because it's the cheaper option to open, which seems absolutely wild. However, that is the current situation. Overall, talking generally amongst the market, my biggest piece of advice is if you're going to invest into one of these cases right now during this period of potential hype, I really suggest you check out the 1 month market graph, see how it's looking. If it's been stagnant at this point, it might not be a terrible idea to invest into it with the hopes that it's going to start to increase in price again, but at the same time, I would still be very hesitant on one that's got an upward path. It's probably going to be upward again, but are you going to lose out once that bubble really starts to burst? That's really all I have for today, guys. I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.